Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming, playing Stranded Alien Dawn. Now I know in the last video on this game I kind of said I probably wouldn't do another one continuing from the last video I made, but I came in today and loaded in to kind of forward the game a bit and go through some more of the game to get to a different point later on, and I kind of decided, well, I might as well do a video, because this game, although there's a lot of building, what I kind of call busy work, in this game, the game is the busy work. That's not a negative thing, it just is what the game is. It's like, a while back on the channel I played Age of Wonders Planetfall, and in those kind of games you're building up towards an invasion or battles or conquering, so all the bits earlier when you're doing research and little bits and pieces, it's kind of busy work to get to a point where you can do what the bigger part of the game is. But in this game, the game is that, it's the surviving, it's the building, so it's hard to kind of skip through a lot because you miss the point of the game, and it's hard to kind of just jump through. And here I am later, I've made a huge mansion, and I'm not going to say I'm going to make a mansion in this game, but for example. So anyway, so I decided to just go back into where I was, play a bit more. Maybe later on I'll skip through a little bit more afterwards, but for now I'll just do a little video again on this game. There's a few things I noticed when I loaded in straight away actually. Number one, I think I was saying in the last video, is it's always really important to check around for things. One of the things I noticed, which I hadn't noticed before, is right in the middle of this undergrowth. Like I said, the fact is that this game's got lots of undergrowth. Is not like the other games I've played in this game at all. The other playthroughs I've had have been deserty, or there's lots of fields, and this is a very congested area, which is good and bad. So one thing I found that I didn't see before is these mushrooms, which we've not observed, so we'll get someone to do that as soon as possible. Those orangey tree things are useful as well, because I know what they are, I've seen them before, but I've never seen the mushrooms before. And like I said, all these things that you find, they can literally be the difference between living and dying, because I don't know what those mushrooms do, I don't know what they are, but they all these little things you find, they have some use, and some may not have a use at the time, some may be medicinal for later, or some of them are things like silicon based things that can be useful for electronics and things like that, but they all have a use. And at the moment we're not doing great on food, which I'm sure I mentioned last time as well, and so finding things that are something that's edible will be important. I know from other playthroughs I've done, this orange thing provides, I think it provides tea, which they like, so that's something I might harvest actually at some point to make a bit of tea. And also another thing I noticed is, which you'll see straight away from this, is that Maki's sleeping, and everybody else is doing something except Maki, who's sleeping, and this is why nobody likes you, Maki, because they've all been working all day, you don't have much to do and you're still sleeping. Well, they're out working, and it's not even, you can see it's like, you know, it's not exactly mid-morning, so that's why nobody likes her, because she's not doing much. And actually it's quite funny, joking aside about Maki, but it's funny because I think I've done 5 kind of part playthroughs of this. I've never got to the end or anything like that, but I've not tried to really. This is a game to enjoy for the survival part. You don't need to get to an ending, I don't think. Well, I don't. And I think I've done about 5 different playthroughs to certain points, and I've always used different people, except I think I've always used Nova for reasons I explained before, because she's good with guns and she's inflappable, she doesn't suffer breakdowns, and she does scavenging and she does crafting. So other than her, I think all the others have always been different. A few I've used a couple of times, but you end up finding characters that you just don't like, and it can be because they don't do much, or because they're kind of annoying. What they say is annoying, how they behave is annoying, and it's weird how quickly you can kind of become irritated by a character. It's quite funny actually, because And it's often not their fault. I mean, in this case, Maki is like a healer and she's a farmer or whatever, and there's not much for her to do unless there's someone to heal. But that's not her fault. But you just become annoyed with them because you see everybody else doing something and there's not much for her to do. And there's at least 2 other characters which I found really whiny and annoying. So it's quite funny how you kind of pick certain characters and you like them. I think I've had Rita a couple of times as well, and I've kind of liked her. I think I've had her more than a couple of times. Quinn I've used more than once. So the ones that kind of get on with it, do stuff, seem cheerful, want to learn things, you kind of like I said, I found that characters that specialise in healing, cooking, farming, those kind of things are harder to utilise often because it's sometimes not those tasks. Obviously healing you can only do if someone needs healing. Farming you can only do if there's something to farm, which is limited because you're never going to want to farm that much, and farming it takes quite a lot of space as well. Farming you won't need that much, and so there's a few things where you won't have ways to use them all the time, and if they don't do much else, it can be annoying, and sometimes it's hard to work out as well because I found that although sometimes people tag in, they have like a 1 in crafting, or they have a 2 in physical, they don't do crafting even if it's there, or they don't do scavenging even if it's there, etc. So sometimes it's kind of hard to work out what people are going to do or why they're not going to do it. Anyway, so there we go, we've got Nova who's collecting something, she's scavenging, she's always scavenging, bless her, and Quinn's gone to eat, but he's been up for a while doing stuff. Rita's doing her relaxing, I'm sure she's not in a yoga position, but she's doing something relaxing, which is fine. And Maki's still sleeping, and we have so little interest in Maki that no one's going to wake her up, because we know if she wakes up she'll just have to stand around anyway, so that's fine. So we're going to fast forward it a little bit. Like I said, it's not a game when you're playing it yourself to be fast forwarding much. I mean, obviously when they're sleeping, yes, but apart from that I wouldn't fast forward it much, because the game is being there around them surviving, and if you just keep forwarding it, you kind of, that's the whole game gone. So it's a thunderstorm, which is fine because I've got our lightning rods, we've got one there. You probably see that, you saw it there on cue. The lightning rod got hit. It can't hurt to have more than one of those. In fact, I think in other games I've been playing through, I've got ongoing playthroughs that there is more than one. Something over there got hit. What the hell is that over there? What is that over there? What is that over there? No, not the glass. There's a research desk that's over there. I don't know why that's over there at all. That's bizarre. Okay, that's a research desk. Okay, well for some reason we have a research desk out in the middle of nowhere. We won't repair that. It's obviously got built by accident. It's that way this game does when you try to build something and you have to kind of, it starts off at a distance and you have to kind of stick it somewhere, and often you often find you click on something and put it in the wrong place, and obviously I'm sure when I was trying to put the desk there I put it over there by mistake and then did it again, so that's what that is. Okay, so everyone's gone to sleep. Maki is sleeping, but she was already sleeping, so she started ahead of everybody else, and she's even sleeping a different way around to everybody else, so yeah, don't know what that's about. So yeah, like I said, we're a little bit worried about food. We've got a few things set up to do, which is look at that, harvest the green, the orange tree that gives tea, check out those mushrooms. I don't think we've got a building here, so we've got a workbench there. Have we? Yeah, we've got a workbench there which we could do something with. We've got that. Are we researching anything? Probably not. And she's gone to eat. That's it, Maki, you eat. Must have been hard work sleeping all that time. Yeah, it'll tell you like there, it says food supply low, insufficient sticks, that is in this case. So it will kind of tell you. So Maki's going to harvest something, which is good because she wasn't going to do much else. That green on there, that means that food's gone off, which is annoying, but it happens sometimes. It says about to throw away food. Yes, we noticed. You'll get that problem generally before, I mean, obviously some way down the line there may be when you've got electronics and things, you'll have refrigeration, and there's a thing not that far off where you get pickling and things like fermentation, but at the moment that's going to be a problem, especially if you're in a hot climate. In a few of them you're in a cold place, so it doesn't go off quickly, and I forgot that when I was playing this and when I was playing one of my other playthroughs, and I didn't consider that the weather's different, so when it's hotter obviously food will go off quicker, so that will be unhelpful. So let's see what we've got. Where's our... We can make a hot drink, and that's the thing we made from the orange spores tea. We call it dandelion spores, and we can boil tea, and we will do that. Two times. There you go. And they seem to like the tea. In the playthroughs I've had with that tea before, they drink it quite often. And again, I suppose that's kind of obvious, because if you think about it, there's not really anything to drink. It's not a game which is a bit... One of the things I noticed early on, it's not a criticism or negative, but there's not a thing where they need water, so they don't desperately seem to ever run out of drinking material, which is a bit strange. So there's not a thing where they say there's no water and they can't find water, which you'd think that would be priority against food, but I've never come across, there's no icon for water even, but obviously they're only drinking water, that's obvious, so they're probably fed up with water, and having dandelion orange tea is nice, a nice change, so okay, that's fine. Research, we're researching already because no one's doing it. We've got purple leaf cloth, and fuel fermentation, which is one of the things I just mentioned, but no one's doing it. Anything here, we can craft something, and you can see we can do quite a few little things. Slop, that sounds unappealing. I don't think we're at the level of crafting slop. I don't think we want to eat slop. I think we'll find animals to eat before we eat slop. Healing balm might be useful. And over there, I think I'll go and check on that in a minute. Bandages could be useful. Healing balm, animal fats. We can't do that yet anyway. I think we'll make some healing balm. The reason we'll make some healing balm is just to show you that you can make it, and also because it's one of those things like bandages where it can be useful at some point and you won't know until you get there. So Nova is idling, but he's fine because Nova never idles unless there's nothing for her to do, and I've not given her anything to do. So let's see what we want Nova to do. Ideally I'd like to find another gun actually, because we've got 2 guns and that's it, and we've not researched okay, so ideally we want that. I think this purple, what does this give us? I can't remember. New. Purple leaf gives us sticks. Okay, that's good, that's what we want, because we're low on sticks. You can, just for reference, there's a way you can you make a chopping block. I don't know if we can do it yet, I'll check. But you can make a chopping block, which I'll see if we can do it now. Yeah, and that's how you cut wood into sticks. So we actually do that somewhere. This is that weird thing where you end up putting something where you don't want it because it's really hard to work out where to put it, but let's just go there, that's somewhere. Okay, that actually worked out okay. So yeah, you get the chopping block, and if you can't find sticks, you can chop wood into sticks. I mean, we've got a lot of that purple leaf there to make into sticks, but there's also a lot of trees, and the purple leaf thing I think is useful. We can make cloth out of that, so we might want to do other things with that. So that's all good. Rita's doing that. Maki's doing something which is unusual for her, so I don't know what she's doing, but let's let her do it. Quinn's harvesting, Rita's making the tea, which is fine. Nova's going to cut down those purple leaves to get some sticks. Sticks you need for cooking, to fire up the stove, and you need it for the fire. If you've got any, actually I'll show you if we've got any light things. We haven't, actually, maybe it's in the camp, I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, okay. So you can make torches, they also burn sticks, but these can be quite useful because people will say when they're trying to do something at night, I can't see. So if we put one near the research desk and the workshop desk, then maybe that will help them see at night. Also, it just makes it look a bit brighter, so I guess people don't like being around the dark. I'll just make it go a bit faster. He's still observed, she's still observed. Okay, so that's all pretty good. Everyone's doing something. Oh, Maki's observing a plant over here. Oh, that's a good thing to observe actually, because that's something that we could yeah, before she go and eat. Okay, that's a good plant because we can harvest that and it makes a vegetable to cook, which is useful. So we might have some of those. I know you can do this in a kind of swipe way, but I'm just doing it like this because just another thing to note is all the fruits and vegetables and trees and everything you find is not harvestable all the time. It's like the real world. So some of the things you won't be able to harvest at certain times of the year. So you'll need to kind of work out how much you want to harvest and when. Because again, it's a balance, because some of the things have seasons of harvesting, but also you have limited storage, especially in this kind of, you can see it's 31 outdoors in the wet season. So things aren't going to last forever in our storage. However we store them, even if we store them internally in a box, or we can make a wardrobe or something, they're not going to last indefinitely. Hay rots away, and other materials do as well. So you don't want to harvest all of something just because it's harvesting, because it's pointless and it just wastes time. See, like I said, they like that tea. As soon as that tea's there, they're off drinking it. So that's cool, that's good. They've got a new drink. We've only got one thing to build. No one's... and they're going to sleep. Okay, that's fine. If they do go to sleep now, I will end this video on them sleeping. So I think we've gone through quite a few different little bits and pieces, other than the Maki hating campaign. I'm joking. I'm sure Maki is a good sport and she doesn't take it personally, even if she doesn't do any work half the time. Nova and Quinn are sleeping. Rita is still doing some scavenging. Maki is observing those orange things and she's going to be drinking. Oh, another thing to note, which I don't know why it's a bit strange, is if you make a bench or a table for them to eat at, what happens is, if you've only got 2 chairs, and what you would think is, and you've just seen from the morning here, that they don't all get up at the same time often, but for some reason, if there's only 2 chairs, they won't, one of them will decide to, or 2 of them in this case, I still think this thing is really fiddly to place stuff, but anyway. They won't eat at the table, even if there's, like, you know, they could easily find space, or even if there's 2 people there, and sometimes it will just end up that 2 of them will end up standing up and eating, which is kind of weird, because they could just wait a minute, but you'll find that happens a lot, and they don't like standing up and eating. It affects their happiness. So regardless of whether you think these 2 chairs and they can alternate eating, they won't. This is going to be annoying because I can't even... Okay, that worked out quite well. So I've given them some more chairs to build because I forgot that they don't. She's drinking tea over there and it'll probably upset her because she didn't have anywhere to sit, although no one's sitting there at all. Maybe she doesn't want to sit with them because they don't like her, who knows. Anyway, so 2 are sleeping, Maki's been walking around drinking, or she coming in, I don't know. Yeah, there's little things you notice. The more times you play through this, the 2 things you'll pick up are little things you need to look out for. Like I said, observing little things, what can happen if you do certain things. And the other thing you'll notice is little things like that. Like if you haven't got a torch, sometimes they'll go, I can't see, it's too dark, when they're going to do research and stuff, which is fair enough. And they won't sit and alternate at a table, even if they don't. They rarely all get up at the same time, but they still won't. Good. Okay, so that's going to be, I'll bring this video to a close, like I said. There's a few bits and pieces and I've found in this video that I probably didn't find the last few, a few things I might have kind of covered or recovered. And there's Rita, bless her, bringing back the buttermelon, which is good because we want those because we can make soup from them. And when we eventually do the research in fermenting and pickling, we can probably pickle or ferment those into something we can sustain longer in our storage. So we'll let Rita drink her tea alone. I think that's what I would do. If I was in a place like this with like 3 other people, I would like to have my own time to sit and, you know, chill out and drink, and I wouldn't want to be doing things the same time as everybody else either, so I like that. And I think later on when we, you know, want to make more furniture, we can, you know, make a little seating area somewhere else where someone can just sit and, you know, chill out a bit. Anyway, thanks for watching Strange Alien Dawn. Like I said, I'm going to continue playing this playthrough, and I'll probably run it on a little bit more, but not too much before I do another video. But I'll probably drop another video of something else in between. Anyway, thanks for watching from Guessagaingaming. Take care and bye for now.